It's May 13th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a city block consumed by fire, children who claim to have witnessed something unworldly, and an explosion that shattered an entire neighborhood. Let's begin. On May 13th, 1985, smoke rose above a quiet neighborhood in West Philadelphia as police surrounded a single row house on Osage Avenue. Inside lived some members of MOV, a radical black liberation group known for its clashes with the authorities. Loudspeakers blared through the night, and a growing standoff with the city that neighbors feared would eventually turn violent. That morning, gunfire erupted. For nearly 90 minutes, bullets tore back and forth between the officers and the people inside the house. Families nearby hid on the floors, while their children screamed behind closed doors. Then, the city made a decision that still sounds impossible. A police helicopter lifted into the sky above the neighborhood, carrying a satchel bomb packed with military-grade explosives supplied by the FBI. And at 5:27 p.m., they dropped it. The explosion ripped through the roof, igniting a fire that quickly spread through the connecting row houses. But instead of extinguishing the flames immediately, officials allowed the fire to continue burning. Witnesses watched in horror as entire homes vanished behind the walls of smoke and orange. By the end of the night, 11 people were dead, including 5 children, and only 2 people inside survived. More than 60 homes were destroyed. Entire families stood on the street staring at the ruins of their neighborhood, wondering how an American city had just bombed its own residents from the air. Decades later, many still call this one of the darkest and most disturbing moments in modern U.S. history. On May 13, 1917, 3 young shepherd children were tending to the sheep outside of Fátima, Portugal, when something strange appeared in the sky. 10-year-old Lucia dos Santos and her cousins Francesco and Jacinda claimed they saw a flash of light rip across the hills. At first, they feared it was lightning, but then they saw her. Standing above the oak tree was what the children described as a glowing woman dressed entirely in white, shining as bright as the sun itself. The children claimed the figure told them not to be afraid, and to return to this exact spot on the 13th of every month for 6 months. She also warned them to pray daily for peace, as Europe had already begun in the horrors of World War I. While others nearby reported seeing strange flash of lights or sensing something unusual in the air, the children were the only ones who saw the woman herself. News of the vision spread rapidly across Portugal. Some believed the children were witness to a miracle. Others believed they were lying. Yet month after month, large crowds gathered at the site waiting to see what would happen next. Some called it a miracle, others called it mass hysteria, and the debate still hasn't ended 100 years later. On May 13th in the year 2000, people in the Dutch city of Enschede were enjoying an ordinary Saturday afternoon when smoke began to rise from the fireworks warehouse hidden inside a residential neighborhood. At first, it didn't seem catastrophic. Neighbors stepped outside to watch as firefighters arrived. Small pops crackled in the distance as fireworks ignited inside the building. Then, the sky exploded. A massive blast ripped through the neighborhood with such force that windows shattered nearly 30 miles away. Witnesses described it as a deafening flash followed by a towering fireball that swallowed entire streets in seconds. Homes simply vanished. Cars flipped through the air. People ran through smoke-filled streets believing war had returned to the Netherlands. At the center of the explosion, investigators would later find a crater more than 40 feet wide. The horror only deepened when they uncovered what had been hidden inside. Roughly 177 tons of fireworks stored illegally in the middle of a densely populated neighborhood. 23 people were killed, including 4 firefighters who rushed towards the flames moments before the explosion, and nearly 1,000 were injured. Sadly, no one was able to prove exactly what started the fire that destroyed an entire neighborhood in less than a minute. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next eerie dose is just a day away.